That would be a create your own multi-view, which they give you the opportunity to do.
That's what I would want.
Yeah, you're able to do stuff like
you
that.
can do that, Kev?
Yeah,
even in the morning,
without the ESPN stuff right now, they're the multi-view that they give you, like the options they give you without creating your own, are just so random. Like you got news with some sort of like kids Disney show type thing right now. All those, I guess
like
not
when I would
Disney,
come in the
but
morning,
you
it
know
would
what I
always
mean.
have one that was pre-made for me that had Good Morning Football, Sports Center, whatever was going on in golf, and then like either a news or a kid or whatever. So that's like just like one that they just, you think you like this. So they were like cultivating those things. But yeah, you can always create your own multi-view. So you could have boom, boom, and then do whatever you want. Yeah.
It's anyway. So they did a story on it this week, and I think one of the reasons for it was Ohio State basketball played on Tuesday night. They played on Tuesday night on Big Ten Plus.
Okay.
Which is not available on cable. It's not available on apps. It is a pay-per-view channel that you have to pay $12.99 a month for to do it. And my argument to it was you're doing more damage by not making this accessible to an entire generation of fans than the nickels you're getting from the people who are paying for it.
Yep, 100%.
And so like they're at this point now with these streamers where there is a push. The NFL doesn't have to worry about it. The NFL is its own animal. But they have basically done this with all sports where they put they're using fandom as the leverage for the stream.
Of course.
And even on stuff that it's marginal, like I think they played Appalachian State Tuesday. So it's not like this was like, I got to see this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I have to talk about them a little bit. And Kentucky Louisville was on, and I'm like, I'll just watch this instead. And I'll get the 2-minute clip in the morning and have a pretty good idea about what happened.
Handle on it, yeah.
You know, that's kind of the way that it goes. So I think that they are over-leveraging a little bit on some
100%. 100%. It's annoying, honestly.
It is. Yeah, it very much is. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Score big with Howard Hanna, official real estate partner of your Cleveland Browns, is Northeast Ohio's #1 real estate provider. They're dedicated to helping you make the best move. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBrowns today to explore your winning options. We get the matchups kicked off coming up next. We start with the Browns offense against this Ravens defense. You'll hear from Tommy Reese coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Elkin Elk, serious lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK Ohio for a free case for you. Elkin Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. We begin the matchups with our offense versus the Ravens defense. We begin from the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here is your offensive coordinator from Tommy Reese.
Where did you feel like really tangible progress was made in the offense from maybe before the bye to today?
Some of the things we wanted to focus on, get Jerry going, get the ball to the perimeter. There's some other things that I would talk about. Don't want to schematically give anything away. Felt like there was progress there. Felt like our guys had a really good week of prep. Really disappointed in the result, ultimately walking off of that field and how the game ends. And look, as a play caller, there's always things you want back. Felt like we put our guys in position to have success throughout the game. And then when you do that and you don't have success, you always look to why and what you can do during the week to help your players have that success. And then, there's going to be a handful of calls that you make that the defense, won the rep, and that happens in football throughout a game. And then there's a couple of plays there that you say didn't put our guys in the right position. And those are the ones as a play caller that eat at you. But definitely felt like trending in the right direction. Some of the things that we wanted to emphasize without going into too much detail schematically, we got done. And we got to build off that and start winning some games.
Not only 4th and 1. What were you hoping for, and then what happened?
Yeah. Well, you talk about a play call you want back. You start there. Had a lot of confidence in the call on 3rd down that we'd pick up the first. Felt like we maybe lost a yard there, and look, in hindsight, you want to execute those situations. We made an aggressive play call. We didn't work out. They had a good call on defense, and we just didn't execute it at the end of the day. And, those are ones as a play caller that you want to always put your guys in the right position. We were running it pretty good at that point on that drive. So certainly could have handled that differently and executed it differently. So we'll learn from it. I'll learn from it and get better on it.
Go back to the 4th and 1. It did look like Tillman was open for a first down. Now, is the reason you feel the play call failed because you put the rookie quarterback in position of having to make a play that was not the right time to do it?
Yeah, I should have run the ball.
Okay, because Tillman was open. Right?
I don't want to get into the specifics of the play itself. You can freeze almost any play, right, and say, hey, this guy's open, this guy's open. Great. I want to make sure I'm putting our players in the right spot. I made a call, an aggressive one. It didn't work, and we got to move on to the next.
I know, like you and Kevin have said that, you don't see like the height popping up in any way, but is that tied into rolling him out a little bit more? I know other quarterbacks like Tua has said, I can't necessarily see exactly over the line. I have to look into certain windows and certain, pockets of the line protection.
Yeah. Brock Purdy has this quote. He was on a podcast this summer. I can't remember who it was with. It was a former quarterback. And he talks about like 60% of the passes, you don't see it, and other tall quarterbacks have said the same thing, right? You're playing with big men out there and windows close fast. And he said, you have to trust the look you're seeing. You have to anticipate. You're really throwing to spots versus different coverages. And that takes time. And I think Brock in the quote talks about how he's a rookie and how he's grown into that and the comfort in that and the confidence in that. And so much of our stress right now with the young quarterbacks is, hey, when we get looks that we know we like this concept versus, we got to trust in that. Anticipate, let it go. And then, the job of the quarterback is, hey, we might call something that it's not the ideal look. How do we solve that problem?
We were trying to get a handle on this yesterday, and I don't know if we really got anywhere. But in terms of just some of the throws that seemed pretty off on the part of Dylan, is there something mechanical happening? Is it just, I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the point a couple of points I was just mentioning, like, evaluate it. Sometimes, hey, is there something mechanical or fundamental we want to correct? Is there something from a understanding during the week game plan that we want to correct? Sometimes quarterbacks miss. Sometimes, rain or weather can affect, all those things can affect it. So you try to boil each play down into its own individual play and then what caused this and then how can we correct that? Look, I've had my finger slip off a ball and you miss. If that's the case, great, we'll get the next one. If there's, hey, I wasn't quite sure on the coverage, then that's where we dig back in as coaches and talk through the reason of why we're doing things. And, all those are really important.
So it was a number of different
I think for every position, when you don't have the execution, that's what you're trying to get after. If we miss a block, did we understand the scheme? Did we set incorrectly? Did they just win? Did you step on the guard? Like, there's a lot of different things that go into every position as you evaluate it. Did you win at the top of a route? Like, that's our job as coaches when you evaluate the game and what happens, to look at the reasons why things are happening. And then, there's obviously things that are correctable, and then there's things that you say, okay, we're going to move on from that and we'll get the next one.
How were you able to get Jerry so involved, especially early when it had been such a struggle in the first 8 games? What was different inside?
Yeah, those are the questions that it's hard for me to get into the details there. Jerry does a lot of things well, and I'll just say we're trying to put him in position to do those things in the right spots, in the right moments. And, we talked last week, when you get your good players going early, usually it helps them throughout the game. So, Jerry's a very talented guy who's worked extremely hard, and, he put himself in that position to have success.
So the Ravens are last in the league in sacks. Yet the last 4 games, nobody scored over 19 points. Have they changed their defense philosophy somehow and are playing good despite no pass rush?
I mean, they're playing really well as a whole. They create pressure, like in unique ways. Obviously they made the trade 4 weeks ago. That brought 14 down closer to the ball. I think that's a big change for them. A couple of years back, they were playing predominantly in that set. Changed it up midway through the year last year. They have a good group of players that play complementary on one another, and like I said, they have versatility to them. They're playing a really good brand of football right now. Whether they're generating pressure or not, they're limiting points. They're creating turnovers. They're limiting points. They're getting key stops when they need it. So they're really playing at a high level. I have a lot of respect for the staff and how they put together their defense and the way they challenge an offense.
I like Tommy. I like that. A lot of good stuff in there.
Straight shooter. He is. I would like to have that 4th and 1 back.
I like it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I liked everything about it.
Yeah, very good. Let's go behind enemy lines now, this time to Baltimore with Ravens head coach John Harbaugh.
We're excited for the
You're done.
Against a very good Cleveland team, big rivalry. We know it's in store, and we're looking forward to it, but we got a lot of work to do, and that's what we started doing today. What questions do you have?
John, I know it's not ideal, but any comfort in the fact you've done this already this season, being down multiple guys to get ready for a big game practice?
I'm not too worried about that, really. I mean, it's the guys. It's a game. We played a game. It's a physical game. It's I think if you look around the league, there's going to be guys who don't practice on Wednesday. It's part of the deal. So there's going to be a guy or two maybe that'll miss the game. That's okay. We've got guys ready to back up, but it's not in the category of before. It's not in that category. So I think this is more of a normal kind of a week that way.
John, you had said you might know more about Marlon's decision on the finger. Anything you can share there?
Marlon had the finger pinned, so Marlon won't be playing in the game, but he'll be recovering, and hopefully the next week he'll be back.
Hey, Coach, you guys just faced McCarthy last week. Now possibly facing another rookie quarterback with Dylan Gabriel. How challenging can be that for the Ravens?
Very challenging. It's you got to face the people that you play, and you got a guy who's athletic. He's young. We haven't seen much of him. Challenging.
Coach, did the news about Jair deciding to step away catch you by surprise?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think that was just think the world of Jair, and I know he's he's going through. He's been a challenge. It's been such a challenge for him because we were with him every day in here, and he was working hard to get back, practicing hard to get back. So, that's I haven't talked to him or anything like that, so I can't speak to him. But I just think the world of him, and I know he'll figure it out for sure. He's just a good person and hard-working guy.
It seems like the Browns, it's like, especially going up there, it is always kind of a grind out type of game. Why do you, you watch the film more detailed than any of us. Why do you think it is a lot of times up there, it's such a grinded out game against?
Because they're really good.
Yeah.
Because that defense is one of the best, if not the best defense going right now. They got multiple top end players. They got a great scheme. They play super hard. They're physical. They do everything really well. Offensive line, been around forever. Big physical offensive line. They got one of the best young backs. This guy looks legit. They got tight ends. They got an athletic rookie tight end. They got a veteran tight end who can make plays. They got one of the top receivers in Judy. They got players, and they're tough. Physical outfit. It's an AFC North game. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be windy. It's going to be on the shores of Lake Erie. We're used to this. This is Cleveland, and this is how these games go. And we just have the utmost respect for how they play. So we've got to be at our best.
John, that defensive line obviously is kind of that's what leads that defense that you were just talking about. Your offensive line is searching for that consistency. How do they get that this week against that top defensive front?
They'll work really hard. They'll be doing their best.
John, you were asked about it Monday, but Lamar, just how quickly he got the ball out Sunday against all those blitzes he saw from Minnesota. Just what impressed you about that operation?
Well, I just think he's been playing great. I mean, Lamar can do a lot of things. If you talk to people around the league who have to defend the Ravens, and it starts with Lamar Jackson. And it starts with the fact that we do so many things on offense. We live in so many different worlds on offense because of Lamar, because of our quarterback. He can do so many different things, and that's one of the things he can do. So it didn't surprise shouldn't surprise anybody. Didn't surprise anybody that's been watching him play or has to defend him that he's able to get the ball out against blitz. You guys made a big deal about the whole thing, but it wasn't to us. He's been doing really well against that stuff, and that's pretty par for the course for him, actually.
John, you just said some guys play well without getting noticed. How big has Jordan Stout been for you this year between the low amount of touchbacks, the career high numbers?
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, I guess it's the punter and the snapper sometimes. You don't. If their name doesn't get called, they must be doing a good job. But Jordan had bang. He just blasted a couple punts down there deep inside the 5, and he's got numerous punts inside the 5, inside the 10 this year. Thought he had a really big game. So, but it's going to be a big challenge this week. I mean, you're going to have all the conditions out there to deal with in this game. It's a tough place to kick, tough place to punt, tough place to field punts. Those are going to be things that are going to be really, really important in this game.
All right, there you go. Time for our first matchup. It's presented by Ballybet. Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. It is our offense versus that Ravens defense. For more on that matchup, we turn it over to Dr. Z. Look at this. Graphics. How great is that?
Young Gabriel.
Let the boy watch.
Let him learn. Week 2. Last time the Browns played the Ravens, Joe Flacco was your quarterback. Quinshon Judkins was making his NFL debut. Dylan Gabriel ended up making his NFL debut and throwing his first touchdown pass to Dylan Sampson. Cedric Tillman had a touchdown in that game. Judy was your leading receiver, 4 catches, 51 yards. Fannin had 5 catches to lead the team then in that respect, 5 for 48. Njoku 4 for 40. Tillman 7 targets, 2 catches, 22 and a touchdown. If you remember, that was one of the most improbable touchdowns of all time. Probably should have been something not great. Roquan Smith had a game for the ages, 15 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits, and a 63-yard fumble return for a touchdown. I heard it.
I did too.
The Ravens had 2 sacks that day.
They did not.
No, it's down
right here.
Below.
In the depths.
Tavius Robinson and Nnamdi Madubuike had the sacks. Both of those guys are on IR. They don't have a single guy on their team who is healthy that has 2 sacks. It's hard to believe. They only have 12 on the season. Now, Draymond Jones has 4.5 sacks on the season, but all 4.5 of those came with the Tennessee Titans. He was just acquired last week. He did have 2 quarterback hits in his debut. But Travis Jones has 1.5 sacks. Mike Green, the rookie out of Marshall, he has 1.5 sacks. Kyle Van Noy, who had 12.5 last year, just has 1 sack. David Ajabo, who, if you would have told me coming out prior to his pro day, I would have thought he was going to be a beast.
Yep.
That injury just completely derailed him. He's got a half a sack. So they don't get to the quarterback much, but they have been really good of late. In the last 3 games against them, quarterbacks have thrown for 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. No quarterback has had 100 rating in the last 4 games against them. No running back room has rushed for 75 yards in 4 games against this defense. They have not allowed a 100-yard rusher since week 3 this season. That was David Montgomery, the only one they've allowed. Wide receivers only have 1 touchdown in the last 4 games. They have allowed 3 100-yard receivers, most recently Jalen Naylor last week from Minnesota. And then the tight ends, there's only been 1 tight end touchdown since week 1, and only 1 tight end has had 60 yards against this defense. They are going to play a lot of man. They're going to do a lot of disguise, and they're going to do a lot of blitzing. They are top 10 in the league in middle of the field close. That's single high safety. They're top 10 in the league in disguising the middle of the field, so moving from open to closed most often. That's 34% of the time. They blitz 35% of the time, 10th most. They do all-out blitz 9% of the time, first in the NFL. Cover 1, which is man 1, 25%. That's 8th most in the NFL. They play the 6th most man coverage overall. They are in nickel 10th most. They are in dime 7th most. So basically they live in sub-package. Their base defense is 31st in the NFL, just 11%. So this is going to be a single high team. They're going to come after you. They're not afraid to blitz. They play a lot of man. Not afraid at all to, let their linebacker, Roquan Smith and Teddy Buchanan, just go ahead and be dominant at that second level. Buchanan, a rookie out of Cal, got a team-high 69 tackles. He's played pretty well for them. And then their back end has been good. And really what's changed with those stats, they were terrible the first half of the season. They've been good the second half of the season. And the biggest change for them has been their ability with Alohi Gilman, who they brought back. He was a former 6th-round pick of the Ravens out of Notre Dame in 2020. They bring him back in a trade, and when the 4 games, Baltimore, 2 passes defense, forced fumble recovery as well, 19 tackles, but it's allowed Kyle Hamilton to get closer to the line of scrimmage, be kind of the nickel. It's freed up Malachi Starks to just be a ball hawk. He's got 2 interceptions in the 4 games since Gilman has been here. Nate Wiggins is playing great at one corner. Marlon Humphrey's been playing pretty well at the other corner, but he will be out this, we know, as the because of the finger. But it's a 3-4 base defense. But like I said, they're in nickel the majority of the time, and so it's going to be Travis Jones plays the most up front of the big guys. John Jenkins, C.J. Okoye, Brent Urban, they kind of split the other reps. Then it's on the outside. It's Van Noy, Mike Green. And then Draymond Jones now is in the mix, and he'll obviously play on that defensive line. But I think you're going to see a lot of a 4-man front that's Jones, Draymond, Van Noy, and Mike Green with the 2 linebackers, and then 3 safeties and 2 corners. Sometimes they'll go to dime. But yeah, their season stats are very deceiving because of how good they have been lately. In the season, they're not good at anything. They're in, middle of the pack to 20th or higher in everything. They, like, for example, they have 12 sacks. That is 30th. That's one thing that's been consistent. But they've been a good scoring defense of late, even though they're still 29th on the year. They're currently the 20th rush defense, 22nd against the pass, 26th overall. But as I said, the last 3 weeks, they have been much, much better than that. They're giving up just 13.7 points per game over those last 3 weeks.
What was the biggest difference from your perspective from Tommy calling the plays and Kevin?
I just thought just the clear emphasis on getting Jerry Jeudy the ball and maybe some of those late motions and shifts for Jeudy to go from being outside to inside and giving him free releases.
Yeah.
That was number one. I thought we played a little bit more 11 personnel last week than we had on the season at large as well.
Nice. Very good. I just thought we got to Thursday, and I had forgot to ask you that on Monday, among all the things we discussed. Light up the stadium at this weekend's game with 2 fan-powered light shows featuring performances by Cleveland natives Welshly Arms at halftime and Max Stack to kick off the 4th quarter. Fans can join by scanning the QR code on the scoreboard, sync your phone's flashlight with the music, and be part of the show. Our old buddy Tarv going to be dropping by coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Absolute treat as we welcome you back to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. The man, Browns linebacker coach Jason Tarver, our favorite guest on the program, best friend of the show. How are you?
The best intro ever. There we go. I like when I hear
factual intro.
like that.
It's a factual intro. All right, let's talk just for a second, because I think one of the more stupefying things that has happened in recent memory is everybody assumed Carson Schwarzenegger wasn't going to play against the New York Jets, and then we're talking on the bus, and you're like, "Yeah, I think he's going to play." And not only does he play, he plays every snap, leads the team in tackles, gets another half of a sack, and looked like he was totally fine. He had a high ankle sprain. How does this happen? Coach Savant said he's got Wolverine blood. What say you?
Carson's impressive. He sets processes, and he didn't leave here. He didn't leave here on the bye week. He stayed in the training room. He made the trainers show up extra, which is great. They did a great job. Our training staff did a great job, and Carson did a great job. So he had a high ankle sprain before. And so when you've had one, it is helpful because you know the process. And he said, it feels better than the one that I had before. He's very conscious of himself and so focused on football that he knew he had a chance. And he's like, "Coach, it's different. I feel like I got a chance." I'm like, "Okay, good. I'm going to be quiet about that and just, so I don't get my hopes up too much." But he did. And then he played really well with really limited practice, which, of course, for a rookie is special. He did a really good job in that football game, getting all the calls right. They have some complex run schemes, and we fit all but two really well. And really, he almost saved us on those, especially the one late in the game where he timed the blitz perfect. Oh. We call that a total disruption. That's where you get in the backfield. And
he almost took the handoff.
He did, and he was totally kind. He said, "Coach, I just missed it with my hand." I mean, just his rushing forward in that game was special. His closing, his space tackles were really good. Really, the ones that he missed, most of the time somebody knocked him off. Sometimes that happens. You're in the hole, you're there, and then you just get hit with something, sometimes friendly fire. But really proud of the way that he approaches. Obviously, how he goes every play is thinking next play is my best play, but how he approaches 24 hours of every day to get himself ready is just really impressive.
And then even on the play that did not go well for us, I would argue that something illegal had to happen for his helmet to be knocked off. But he didn't even stop to pick up his helmet. He went helmetless right down the field to try to make the play.
Oh, yeah. After that, yesterday actually at practice, Cars had the equipment guys change out his chin strap because his chin strap still had all the dried blood in there from the game. I mean, he's a warrior. He's bleeding off the top of his forehead and his chin after that play. So, yes, what he did is he did a really good job of straining to get off that block and give us a chance. He got that thing turned back, and just that strain, he keeps straining like that, he'll get rewarded.
You have had the privilege in this league to be around some of the greatest at that position. I think about your time, obviously, with the 49ers, Pat Willis, Navarro Bowman. Carson, as a rookie, I think right now it's hard for me to even contemplate anybody else who's playing as well as he is in the league, and I think certainly is a candidate, if not the favorite, to be the defensive rookie of the year. It's one thing if he had been a 4-year starter or a 3-year starter. This guy started 1 year in college. Is what he's doing right now to you and all that you have seen, is it one of the more impressive things?
Yes, and it comes from the same thing, the process and the mindset. He's special in how he can take in a lot of information or a lot of things moving fast, keep it simple, and work with everybody, and then go find the ball. And then, like you saw, the helmet off is an example. His biggest strength is that he runs. He doesn't worry about anything. He just tracks the ball, and then he's trained his body to be incredibly flexible, incredibly strong. And through our work, the biggest emphasis for Carson this year was just he wanted to run through everything because he can, because he slips and slides through contact really well because he's so flexible, and hit everything with his pads. He's gotten way better with his hands. One of our mantras is finish the down unblocked, and he's taken that and he lives it, getting people off. He's got all kinds of examples at the end of plays, whether the ball's up or not, just getting rid of people. Yeah. So that way it gives you the more chances to get to the ball. His mindset, play in, play out, is special, how quickly he developed it. And like you said, I think I think Carson, it's always nature versus nurture in anything in life.
Sure.
But the fact that he got a lot of his weight later, because he played all the skill positions in high school. His coach did a great job of getting him and selling UCLA and chipping everybody to take him. And then just everything he had to work through, from playing special teams to gaining the weight. So all those skills he learned at some of the smaller positions come into play now at linebacker. Now he's the middle-sized guy, but he's got all the skill.
What's just amazing to me is, though, it's just the fact that he did it 1 year in college, and you see certain looks in college. But you think of, for example, in this game we're going to go against Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith's seen just about everything, and that allows him to be, and he's got the gifts and all of that to be one of the best to ever play the position. Carson hasn't seen everything, and if you think about some of the offenses that we've faced this year, whether it be Arthur Smith's led offense, whether it be Kevin O'Connell, whether it be what they do in Detroit, whether it be Miami, whether it be the Baltimore Ravens with Todd Monk, all of these offenses are designed to fool you, eye candy, this, that, get you off. And you would think somebody who hasn't seen much of it would be susceptible, and yet he's gone out there and matched with one of the greatest quarterback lineups that you've seen through the first 6 weeks, and then continued against offenses that have been designed to make a young player make mistakes.
Yeah, his ability to see it on video or in practice and take it to the game is elite. It's that functional, quick memory where it is. It's like a snap of your fingers and go, oh yeah, I remember when this is this. He can do that sometimes without even having a practice rep. He can see it and apply it, and that is special. And again, that's nature versus nurture. That's his brain power. That's also how he thinks about it. He's intensely focused. And I mean, I come down here. We're in the linebacker meeting room downstairs right now doing this interview. I come down here all the time, and there he is. He's either got his iPad or he's got the video on. He's got his notes out, and he takes his notes are enough to get it done quickly. In other words, he's not writing everything. He's writing action things
matters.
that he needs.
Yep.
Yes. His ability to sort through information and make it applicable and then apply it at this speed and this power, that's where he's really special. And his questions are great because he wants to make it easy. Like there was a blitz today, and he said, now all of them are the same because we changed the coverage. Just that quick. And Devin and the other guys and I, all of us went, oh, yeah, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
That's why he can do it, because he keeps it simple. And we all say keep it simple, KISS principle, all that stuff. Everybody does. Every coach does it. But this kid, he's got that.
He's good. And then you've seen next to him, I think Devin Bush is having one of the best seasons of his career. And he's a guy, obviously, who was very accomplished. Certainly his rookie year there in Pittsburgh, but second year in the system, second year with you. And you can see him just out there thriving. Those two together have been really one of the bright spots, I think, in this organization. When you thought about all of a sudden, go back before the season started, it's like Jeremiah is going to be out for the year. Jordan Hicks retires, which was unexpected, who's going to be our starting Mike linebacker. And yet this linebacker room has been as good as any room on this team all year long.
Well, appreciate that. But we talk about in here, you don't know when it's your turn, and we need everybody. And through the years that I've been fortunate enough to be in the organization, that's how we've approached it. I mean, we look at video against these guys 2 years ago, the linebacker's totally different, completely different.
100% different.
Back to Devin. Really proud of how he has given himself to the scheme and the teammates, and just how he works with everybody. He's just gotten better and better because he hadn't been in this scheme where he can get on edges a little bit more. We blitz him a little bit more. And just how he works with people right now and his mental recall of things that have happened and applying it into the next game or next rep is way better. And it helps that Carson's next to him, Grant's next to him, Jerome or Mood, who's ever in, is next to him, because the collective memory and the collective adjustments are happening faster and faster.
Does Grant spend time in here?
Yeah, we do some meetings with the safeties and linebackers depending on the time, but
because he's there with you a lot.
Oh yeah. As Coach Schwartz says, the linebackers and the safeties, we're the nerve center of the defense. We got to make the quick adjustments, and then we got to be the director of physicality because we get to run and hit tackles. Okay, so those are the two things. That's our mantra from Coach Schwartz of the defense, right? And really, you've heard it from me before. Defensive football is getting more positionless anyway. There's the guys that rush more up front that are bigger. There's the guys that cover the elite athletes out the outside, and then there's everybody else. Yeah. Safeties and linebackers, hey, listen, whoever we get matched up on, let's know our leverage. There's only two things they can do. They can run or they can pass. And if we're on the right leverage and our eyes are right, we'll see it. And RPO's both, but it has to happen fast.
Yep.
And we're all going to be in those spots. So we train them, hey, you're in this spot, here it is, put your eyes here, whether it's a safety or a linebacker, because we could get bumped into those same spots. So we cross-train them all the time, and by the time it's done, I don't really care it's about us.
Yeah. When was the last time you were a part of a game where your defense allowed one drive with a first down in it through 3 quarters?
You know what? I don't even think about that. I'm just like when I talk about the guys going to the next play. We get on the bench, and you've seen it. I get in front of the guys, and I have our screen, and we go play by play. And all we think about is fixing anything that happens, and then what's coming next and where we're going. I don't even know.
After the fact, though, did you know that?
Yeah, after.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the stats are. I don't know about anything. All I think about is, are we fixing what happens to us to help the defense win? And are we running full speed and playing to attack the ball? And that's all we're looking at. And if we come out of the game, players and coaches, fixing everything that happens, then we did our job to give us a chance to win. Now, we need to finish that next. You're talking about the good stats. We need to finish that last quarter. We need to finish that thing. No matter what happens, wherever they get the ball, we got to finish that. And that's what we need to do, and we're excited to do it at home this week. We haven't been home for a while. It's going to be awesome.
It's been a long time. All right, let's turn our attention to the Ravens. When we were talking, you and I, before the first time that you guys took on the Baltimore Ravens, and by the way, we held Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry combined to the fewest rushing yards ever in their time together with the Ravens by like a wide margin. And you had said kind of one of the key was you have to get Derrick Henry. I can't remember what step you said, but before, was it the 3rd step or 5th step? Fifth step. Yeah. And we did a great job of that. How have you seen their offense evolve since that game, especially now with Patrick Ricard back, and what challenges does that present to us?
Yeah, they have their full complement back with the quarterback and the fullback. And they've done a good job of adjusting to what you just said. They're finding different ways to get him on his tracks and going. Because when he's really good, as we know.
Yeah.
You know, and they're big, and they do a great job with their personnel. They mix their personnel, they use their personnel. I mean, one of Coach Bill Walsh's phrases, how he raised me, was know your personnel and use your personnel. Like we said, positionless on defense, but they do a good job of that. So we have to make sure the formations are leveraged. We know when and where our help is, and then this is a big football team. We've got to get on edges and get off of blocks, and that's easy for me to say, but that's how you play this team. And like you said, in the first game, we did some of that some of the time. There was some short fields that we need to, again, it doesn't matter where they get the ball. We have to perform. And again, like I said, I really don't even consider what else is going on in the game. Because when I do that, then it helps the players do that when we're in our spots. It helps us do that together. But yeah, that's the key to the game is getting edges, getting knockback, get them off their tracks, and then understanding when it's what running back's in, when is the quarterback going to keep things. Obviously, you don't know. He's special. He's going to make a big play once in a while.
Yep.
Accept that, move to the next play because he's that good. He's going to make a big play. Coach Schwartz says it all the time. He's going to make one. All right, cool. Go to the next play.
Yep.
If you can limit those, then you got a chance.
When you watch him in particular, talking about Lamar Jackson, this year he's scrambling at the lowest rate he ever has in his career. He has the fewest number of carries and rushing yards per game in his career so far this year. Are they doing something differently? Is he just being more conservative? Now they're being very effective. He's throwing it. And his efficiency as a passer right now is as good as anybody in the league. But have you noticed anything different? Are there fewer designed runs with Lamar?
The designed runs are still in there, but I don't think they will use it when they need it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Maybe as you get towards the red zone, stuff like that. I will say, I like to talk about us. I usually don't like to talk about opponents, as you know, when you talk to me, because I just don't even see it. We just talk about their number and what they do. But his throwing has gotten better since he's been in the league. I mean, just
significantly, yes.
In a tribute to him, he's gotten better. So that's more of a challenge for us. But that's what you do. If you're going to be at that position in the league, you're always working on something. So to his credit, he's gotten better at it. and it's become more and more accurate. And now it's our challenge to make it inaccurate again.
Is this a game that you get as excited for as anybody? Because I try to think in my mind of, a team that is the biggest linebacker game you could have, and I feel like the Ravens are there because you've got Lamar in the ground game, you've got Derrick Henry, you're going to be in big formations a lot, 2 tight ends, they've got Ricard, they've got Mark Andrews, who has been a thorn in our side for a great many years. But is this the kind of game that gets you excited? Because this is one where I think the linebackers really are going to play. They play a big role every week, but this is one. This feels like a linebacker game.
I get excited about every game.
Of course you do. You get excited about every practice. You're excited about every rep.
It's another round in a 17-round boxing match that you got to win as many as you can, but it's at home, and it's in the division, and we missed the dog pound.
Yep.
And we're ready to play, and I'm gonna leave it at that. We're ready to play.
Coach, I love it. You get what's the juice you get from being at home? And in defense, because our defense, listen, there are those splits out there, but at home we are incredible.
Yeah, I think we really appreciate our environment. I think we need what we get from the home fans, which is when they are about to get on the ball in their huddle, we need the noise, we need you with it. You're standing, you're with us, we love it. And we have to harness that when we aren't at home, but we get to be at home this week.
Yes, we do. Coach, thank you so much for the time. Good luck. You're giddy. I love it. Let's go.
Let's go.
All
Go
right.
Browns.
We'll be back with more Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Add more fun to your fan with the Bally Bet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Bally Bet's official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to head to the podium. Presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's your defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz.
You're down again.
Back at that game, did it feel weird just that there weren't that many snaps and there weren't that many passes? Like it just felt like a different game was for you calling it. How do you feel?
Well, I mean, there weren't that many plays because, like, we missed a couple series because of special team scores, but also we were 3 and out, 1 and out. You know, and when you have the combination and then there's 2 non-scores in there, basically you didn't get drives there. That's sort of the way that goes. But, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit different. We made 3 mistakes in that game. We get a holding penalty on 3rd and extra long, you know, when they're just trying to keep the clock running. And then we jump off sides, you know, cardinal sin in 4-minute, really embarrassing play for us. And the other one where, you know, we're aggressive to try to keep them out of field goal range. It's a tight game. We were behind the 8 ball early in the game, and, you know, we're trying to keep them out of field goal range, so you're aggressive and you're blitzing, and they get 1 block, and all of a sudden they can score a touchdown, you know. So even though when you look at a lot of the, you know, stats and things like that, looks good, it wasn't enough for a win. And, you know, if we either make a play here or don't commit a penalty or, you know, just make a mistake, then, you know, maybe we give us a better chance to win that game. But there were a lot of things that, you know, we're proud of with the game, but we're never proud of a loss.
Around training camp or OTAs, you had talked about Ronnie Hickman's development, and you said like he's kind of like keep putting out the fires, but now you need him to make plays. With him having interception against the Jets this season, just where have you seen the growth where he's been able to make these impactful plays now? Yeah,
Ronnie's been such a consistent player for us this year in the back end, great communicator. The week before against the Patriots, he had a couple missed tackles, which was really, really out of character for him. He's been a really sure tackler for us in a lot of our cleanup tackling. I would say on that play, Ronnie gets the interception, but Grant Delpit had a lot to do with that play. Grant's playing the backside, does the play that the Jets ran was a play that had gotten us early in the year. And we had worked it in our self-scout on the bye week, knowing that people would try to copycat and say, hey, we can get this. And Grant just did outstanding job on the backside of that and pushed the first route off, which allowed Ronnie to fall into the second window and make that play. So Ronnie gets all the attention right there. But, you know, Grant's the one that helped make that. You know, and that's just football. I mean, there's a lot of those. Like Miles had a great sack. I mean, you get a sack when their quarterback's dashing the other way. But Alex Wright did a good job pulling the quarterback up. Grant did a good job pulling it. Here comes Carson to pull the quarterback, and that allowed Grant. So, you know, nobody really stands on their own in the NFL, you know, on a football field. You know, there's 11 guys, and everybody has to do their job for somebody else to make a play. I think what you saw there. But I think Ronnie's really stepped into a leadership role for us. He's been extremely consistent player. There's not a lot of ups and downs in his play, and he's obviously got some ball hawk in him. So it's a good sign going forward for us and for him.
Convenient to have the tune-up game against Justin Fields just before this game.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of mobile quarterbacks, and that's just part of the NFL now. You know, most guys have the ability to scramble and make plays. Some teams use them a little bit more than others, but you know, we've already played Baltimore once this year. You know, but even going back to the week before, you know, Drake May, you know, he doesn't get the reputation for that, but he made us pay a couple times on some scrambles, and you know, all these guys have ability to go get first downs, go get big plays. With their legs. That's just where football has evolved, and it, you know, like we talked before, it just spreads you just a little bit thinner on defense because you have to account for the quarterback, whether it's a quarterback scramble or it's a zone read or a design quarterback run. You know, it's just a a whisker away from playing triple option football.
Ricard and likely back kind of changed the complexion of their offense in terms of some of the personnel you're expecting to see again.
Yeah, they kept their package. Zaire actually played the fullback, a guy we were very familiar with in the first game, so they kept it. But, getting Ricard back is big for them in their two-back set stuff. He's a 300-pound guy that can, play with power, and that means a lot to a guy like Derrick Henry, getting him started. We've done a good job of getting Derrick a lot of times before he can get started, while having a fullback like that, can help him. So he was an important part of the offense that they didn't have the first time, and likely, all three of their tight ends are good players. Kohler really stepped into a role, and he's a trusted player for them. He's made a lot of plays for the Ravens. So they have three of them, all of them a little bit different, but they use all three of them, and that'll be a big part of things.
Were able to hold him to under 50 rushing yards on your last meeting, Lamar to just 13. How much different is it going to be a challenge for you guys with them already having seen what you guys were able to do in the run stopping ability of your defense?
Scheme-wise, there's really not a whole lot. It's more just attitude. I think they had a pretty good idea what we were going to do in the first game. When you play division games like this, particularly coaching staffs that have, that have been around for a few years, and players that have been around for a few years, there's not a whole lot of secrets this time of year. There's very little in this game that we're going to do that the Ravens are going to be like, oh, wow. Like, where did that come from? Because if it was, we would have been doing it last game, the game before that. Like you already sort of know, they know us, we know them, and it's classic division games, and it comes down to, to who plays physical, who does the techniques well, who plays with the best fundamentals, who plays with the best spirit, who makes the fewest mistakes. It comes down to those things as opposed to, a coach coming up with a magic scheme or, something like that. That's what division football is all about. It's, the weather's changed. You're into November. You have two physical teams. That's what the AFC North's about.
Alex, I would think that Isaiah would get more playing time. What have you seen from him this season?
Yeah, Isaiah had an outstanding training camp for us, and really won the starting spot. And then he had a little setback early in the season and just wasn't as productive as he wanted to be and as we wanted him to be. And at the same time, Alex was really being productive, and Alex sort of outsnapped him. We really don't have, other than Miles, we really don't have, quote, starters. But he outsnapped him in there, and, this is a great opportunity for Zay to get that back and to be the consistent playmaker that we know he can be. Okay. All right, guys.
All right, there you go. Time for the second matchup on this Matchup Thursday. It's presented by Ballybet. Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. Take a look at the Browns defense versus this high-flying Ravens offense. And for the details, this is strength versus strength. Dr. Z.
Yes, it is. Last time, Lamar Jackson, 19 of 29, 225, 4 touchdowns, 129 rating. He was sacked 3 times by the Browns, ran for just 13 yards. And, in fact, in this game, he and Derrick Henry combined for just 36 yards. That is the lowest combined total for those two since Derrick Henry joined the Baltimore Ravens. Derrick Henry held to 11 carries for 23 yards in this one. Zay Flowers led the team, 7 catches, 75 yards. Mark Andrews had 1 catch for 2 yards. He's been a Browns killer, 11 touchdowns in his career against Cleveland. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 for 64 and a touchdown. Devontae Walker had 2 catches, 26 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Tylan Wallace, he had 2 catches, 25 yards, and a touchdown. Devontae Walker, I just want to bring this guy up. So he's a 4th-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens.
All right.
In his second season, so he was a pick last year. In his NFL career, he's been targeted 6 times. He has 4 catches for 81 yards and 3 touchdowns. This year, he's been targeted 3 times, 2 of which were against us. 3 targets, 3 catches, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like, if you're that guy, aren't you like, what do I have to do to play more?
Right, yeah. That's a good point.
On 6 targets, the guy has 81 yards and 3 touchdowns in his NFL career. Didn't even get a snap last week. For the Browns defense, Miles led the way. He had 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 hits, and 5 tackles. Devin Bush had a sack, 2 passes, defense tackle for loss, team high 8 tackles. Cam Thomas had half of a sack. Mason Graham had a tackle for loss. Delpit, Miles Harden had passes, defense. Shelby Harris knocked one down at the line as well. Now, it's a different team, though. Isaiah Likely is back. He's got 10 catches for 103 yards. Patrick Ricard is back, and he's their multiple-time Pro Bowl fullback, so he changes what they do on the offensive line. Lamar this year, career highs in completion percentage, touchdown percentage, air yards per attempt, and rating, 127.3. Leads the NFL in touchdown percentage, air yards per attempt, and rating. 70% completions, 1,249 yards, 15 touchdowns, 1 pick, 127.1 rating. He's run for 216 yards and a touchdown on 6.2 yards per carry. But he is running fewest number of rushes and yards per game for Lamar Jackson, not opting to run nearly as much as he has in the past. Derrick Henry, solid season, 148 yards rushing, 148 rushes, 704 yards, 4.8 a carry, 6 touchdowns, 9 catches, 55 yards. He's been over 70, I think, in 4 straight, but hasn't been like a crazy year for him. Last year, he averaged 6 yards a carry. He's running completely wild. Zay Flowers is their leading receiver. He's got 50 catches, 625 yards, and a touchdown. Nobody else on the team has even 250 yards receiving, full stop. Mark Andrews, he's got 244 and 5 touchdowns to lead the team in receiving touchdowns. But that's who they are. They're going to line up. There'll be multiple, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends in the fullback, and 1 receiver out there. Bateman is hurt. So we'll see maybe more DeAndre Hopkins, who's having actually a nice season. He's got 12 catches, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns, averaging a career-high 17 yards a catch in his 13th season out of Clemson. So we'll be interested to see kind of how they approach that, what they do there. But, we had a lot of success against Derrick Henry last time. I would imagine they're going to want to be more inclined to get Derrick Henry going, and we'll see certainly if they are able to do so.
Has he had one yet this year that's like a vintage Derrick Henry? I just was looking at Lamar's like game by game.
Lamar's been a really
his
good...
best one was probably Buffalo in the loss. Like Lamar was kind of a Lamar game, like 14-19.
Yeah.
And then he ran for another 80.
He had 169 and 2 in the game against Buffalo. He had 122 against the Rams. He had 119 2 weeks ago in the win over Miami. But no, it hasn't been. He had a stretch where he went 23 against us, 50 against Detroit, 42 against Kansas City, and 33 against Houston. But lately it's been 122, 71, 119, and 75. So he's been a little bit better of late.
Yeah, now I'm reminded of this. He fumbled in the first 3 games of the year.
Yep.
He fumbled in every game after not fumbling hardly at all.
And has not fumbled since.
Not fumbled since. Critical against Buffalo fumble, and then critical against Detroit. They lost both those games in part because
got in his head. Yep.
And it looks like it did a little bit. But
and I think he's settled out of that now.
Seems like it. Yeah.
Seems like it. But yeah, good matchup, I think, and certainly an opportunity for the Browns defense again to make a little bit of a statement here, and we'll see, ultimately, can you hold them down long enough? Last time they gave up 10 points in the first half, 7 of which came after a block punt deep in our own territory, but then as the game went on, it just kind of all unraveled, and Lamar ended up with the 4 touchdowns and toyed with the Browns a little bit. So in this one, you're going to need it to be, you got to keep it competitive. I think that helps our defense. Being at home helps our defense as well. You look at the Browns' home games, you gave up 17 to the Bengals, you gave up 10 to the Packers, and you gave up 6 to the Dolphins. So at home, the Cleveland Browns have given up 11 points per game.
Jeez.
We've only played 3 home games. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Here are the point totals in games Lamar has started and completed this year for Baltimore. 40 in a loss to Buffalo, 41 in a game over us, 30 against Detroit. He started the Kansas City game but did not finish it. That's where he got hurt.
Yep.
They lost 37-20, 28 against Miami, 27 against Minnesota. So if you're going to win defensively, they need to be in the low 20s, and they haven't been anywhere in the vicinity of that as long as he's played and finished a game so far this season. We'll do the Fantasy Minute coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Barking Backers, official dog fan club of the Cleveland Browns, back for the 25 season. Get your pup in on the action, exclusive gear, events, and more. Memberships available now at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers is presented by Milkbone in association with Embrace Pet Insurance and Pet Supplies Plus. Time for that Fantasy Minute. It's presented by Scaleco Capital. Scaleco Capital, proud private equity partner of your Cleveland Browns.
All right, here we go. Fantasy, you're getting close now. Probably 4 weeks left in your regular season. Used to be 3 back in the day, but probably now 4. Only 2 teams on a bye this week, but important ones. Indianapolis, anybody's got Jonathan Taylor saying, where's he at? Danny Dimes, he's even down. Tyler Warren is down. So there are some players that are down this week for you. Let's look at the quarterback.
By the way, C.J. Stroud out again.
I saw that.
Yeah. He wasn't probably getting much fantasy concern anyway. Drake may, I mean, it's basically you're going with your guys right now, but if you're looking for kind of guys that you can get into your lineup, Flacco, obviously, still while he's starting. Caleb Williams is becoming a very good fantasy quarterback. Mac Jones or Brock Purdy, whoever starts for the 49ers. Mariota in Miami, and Tua Tagovailoa in that same game as well. And I think Rodgers against Cincy should be able to have some pretty decent stats for you. Running backs, you want to monitor what's going on. What's happening with Woody Marks against Tennessee? I think he is a start. And then on the other side of things, what's going on with R.J. Harvey? Is he really going to get to be the guy now? Because is Dobbins on IR or is he just not practicing? Anyone? Does anyone know the effects? Something Udo economics? But R.J. Harvey's got an opportunity. Travion tonight, absolute must play. It's the guys, I think Jalen Warren's in for a nice game against Cincinnati's defense. I think anybody who plays against Cincinnati's defense.
Yep.
Here's one kind of deep if you don't have Jonathan Taylor, Mari DiMercado, if he's on the waiver wire, happy, grab him. And then Tyler Algier, they've just kind of decided in Atlanta he's the goal line back.
Yeah.
And he gets about 10 carries a game. They're playing Carolina, so I think he's got a good chance to kind of he's touchdown dependent completely, but maybe to give you something there. Wide receiver, obviously, it's everybody that you expect to be there. Hopefully DK Metcalf can get going. Juwan Jennings is starting to play a bigger role. I think Mac Hollins tonight has an opportunity. He's had some nice games the last couple of weeks. Tez Johnson has started to become a favorite for Baker Mayfield with all their wide receiver injuries down there. Tez Johnson is one of those guys that, man, I just am surprised how late he lasted in the draft.
Out of Oregon, right?
Yep, he's got some skills, and would have been nice maybe to pair him here. I think he went in the 5th round, I want to say.
It was late. 5th or 6th, I thought.
Look at that.
Look at you commanding the attention of a room.
That's got to be
outdoors. That's got to be.
That's got to be the golf
outing or
the golf
camp,
outing. I
right?
would think.
Well, you're not in the golf outing shirt, so that would believe maybe it's training camp.
I got papers.
Has he ever been?
Well, there were a couple of times we put it on.
Tez Johnson, 7th round,
valid,
7th round pick.
I thought it was late.
235 overall.
That wasn't even enough. Yeah, he's a stud. Strange.
Very strange. Tight ends, if you're looking to replace Warren, for example, this week, Rondé Gadsden's good to go. Cade Otton is, I think, with Tampa, a nice kind of pick up and play for you. Our guys, Fannin, Njoku. Njoku's been getting in the end zone of late. Dalton Schultz against Tennessee. Colston Loveland starting to play a little bit of a bigger role. Freiermuth had a big game last time against the Bengals. And then defensively, I'm sure you've already kind of made these moves, but I really like the Texans' defense against Tennessee is probably the best defense this week. Patriots against the Jets tonight would be another one that would be up there for you. And then I think Falcons against Carolina is a nice little one. Also, Chargers at Jags. Chargers have been playing very good defense.
Yep.
So there you go.
Let me get you one from, this is from Beamsy, a request.
Yep.
Just got it in. He has to start 2 of these 3.
Oh, baby.
Travis Etienne.
Okay.
Travion Henderson.
Javonte
Williams.
Travion and Javonte.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, there you go. There
it is.
All right, Browns fans, visit clevelandbrowns.com/Sugardale to vote for which Northeast Ohio high school marching band you'd like to see perform at halftime of our game against the Titans on December 7th. It's March to Midfield, presented by Sugardale and Meyer. Vote today. The mailbag is going to be opened up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. This season, check the Browns social channels daily to play our digital scratch-off game for your chance to win club seats and other great prizes. It's presented by the Ohio Lottery, proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to open up that mailbag on a Thursday. Hello, Gibby.
Hi, gentlemen.
How are you?
Great. Just great.
You don't sound great, Gibby.
That's fantastic, Gibby.
Yeah. We're rolling, man.
He's thirsty, Gibby.
Getting ready for lunch.
He's thirsty, Gibby. What do you do with all that beer? He's thirsty.
All right, we got official injury reports are out, by the way.
Right now.
For the Browns. I'm going to have to pull it up on you. This is not a format that is iPhone friendly.
No, it's not. It's not.
All right, for the Browns today, Jerome Baker limited with an Achilles. Joel Bitonio, not injury-related rest, is now full today. Isaiah Bond limited with a foot. Jack Conklin went from not practicing to limited with a not injury-related rest. Harold Fannin, hamstring limited. Myles Garrett, not injury-related rest, limited to full. Cornelius Lucas back, limited to full. David Njoku, not injury-related rest, limited to full. Carson Schlesinger, shoulder limited.
Jeez.
Cedric Tillman, glute limited. Denzel Ward, not injury-related rest, limited to full. Alex Wright did not practice for the second straight day. For the Ravens, Rashad Bateman, back-to-back DNPs. This is an interesting one to keep an eye on. They're one of their best pass rushers. Their second-round pick, Mike Green, added to the injury report today with an ankle. He was limited, so we'll see. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, that might mean he is not able to go. Their linebacker, Jay Higgins, the rookie, who's likely out anyway, did not practice with the knee. Running back Justice Hill, DNP with a toe. Marlon Humphrey, we know, is out with the finger injury. Lamar Jackson practiced in full today after not practicing yesterday. So what they just should have put is not injury-related rest.
Yeah, they should have put that.
Isaiah Likely went from limited to full. Keaton Mitchell, limited to full. And Malachi Starks, limited to full for the Ravens.
There you go.
All right, gentlemen. Mailbag time. Tweet us your questions at Browns_daily. I don't even know what this question is.
Be careful, Gibby.
Yep, not going to go down that road.
By the way, I just want to say, Bernie posted another video an hour ago, said, stepping out of surgery with hope and resilience. Appreciate your support. Our community is so strong. We love you, Bernie.
Let's go, buddy.
Hopefully that is good news.
Yep.
Amen. Cleveland fan in Chicago.
So good.
When will we get what the people want and a cage match, no rules, Gibby Z throwdown on the hardwood? Give us what the people and, more importantly, what the burners want. Let's go.
Let's be honest for a second. One of us is a professional wrestler who is
I think he's talking
undefeated.
About hoops. He said the hardwood.
I heard a cage match.
Yeah, he said cage match and hardwood.
A cage match with no rules, throwdown on the hardwood. I don't know.
I think he's calling it a cage match on a basketball court. Unprecedented, a new stipulation.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of bounce.
No. There's not a lot of bounce in that ring, let me tell you.
That's soft, dude. Those ropes are soft. It's easy. Easy peasy.
I think off-season, we have a new off-season show, so we're going to go to the ring, and you're going to bump, and then we'll see how you feel about
it. I'm good.
It's fine. You do. Hey, no. We don't have to do anything.
Stossel, that
your
guy
comeback starts in just 8 weeks.
Oh, he's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah.
You got to do it for young Luca. You
The
gotta let him
comeback.
see the greatness of you. Be beautiful.
Oh boy.
Train, yeah. Getting the body ready, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Elizabeth Meade, Jason Tarver interview should be a weekly thing.
Agreed.
We love him.
We love it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to begin referring to him as Dennis Eckersley. And what we'll do is I will sit down with Tarv.
Yep.
We will go. And at the end of it, I will say, that'll do it for Cleveland Browns Daily. We'll see you next week, and then that's how we're going to do it.
That's going to be next week.
We'll see you next week.
Oh, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
You'll do that
See you tomorrow.
on a Thursday. We'll see you next week.
No. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. But I'll just sit down with Tarv. It'll just be called, maybe it's like tea time with Tarv, and we'll just sit down there. And tea time could mean golf. It could mean tea. It could mean a great many things.
Wow, this is some pretty interesting news in the Major League Soccer world. Did you see this story?
No.
And of course, the Haslam
Columbus Crew
Sports Group owns the Columbus Crew, and MLS owners have officially voted to flip to a fall to spring season, aligning with the top leagues around the world. The league will begin the new play in the new format in 2027. So instead of playing in the summer, where they counter-programmed the NFL and all of the other sports in this country that happen in the winter, they are now going to go head-to-head with it. You're going to have some major issues with weather.
Yeah.
And I would think you'd want to study the Bundesliga model, which is probably the most similar climate where they play in this calendar. And if memory serves, the Hoff could correct me on this because I think he lived over there while it was going on. The Bundesliga does take a big winter break, several weeks in December and January. Or they used to. I don't know if they still do. But that would be because you're talking about New England, the 2 New Yorks, Chicago, Columbus, Cincinnati.
Places that get substantial amounts of
cold
snow.
And really cold. I know they have heated fields and all of that, but just really brutally
but you got to
cold.
have people that want to sit in there.
Yeah. Obviously, they feel like the league's come far enough that they can give it a shot. And it is a pain in the neck for them to go opposite the rest of the world, just in terms of international, all of that stuff that happens in the summer. So I understand the idea of trying to do it. I just think like the scheduling's going to have to be creative with all the northern teams.
I don't know enough about it, but were they hoping when they went opposite that would get like
casual fans?
Or that it would get Premier League teams and stuff to loan their players out kind of in the offseason, like young players to get a more experience? Is that what they were hoping for?
No. I think they just were hoping to grab a hold of American eyeballs in a time where it's less competitive.
Is this have to do with maybe a pending TV deal?
They have a deal with Apple right now.
So when's the season going to start?
It would be it would mirror like the European leagues, like it would be fall through spring. So it'd be over by like the Premier League starts in August and ends like around Memorial Day, thereabouts.
And if I may,
go ahead, Kev.
With the international breaks as well, like they want all of that to time up.
To align.
And I mean, today it was announced that Apple, you won't have to have a separate subscription on Apple Plus to get them. But what made it difficult for even the casual fan to get them is you had to have Apple Plus and then get the MLS package on Apple Plus.
Oh, on it. I see.
So they're making it a little easier if you're an Apple Plus subscriber, but you still have to subscribe to that to get MLS games. But should make it more open. But if you go to this model, then yeah, there's competition, and whether that's going to make it difficult.
Yeah, they're going to try to just. They obviously feel like they have enough fans now. I mean, the league's been around since the mid-'90s, I think 96. So it's been around a long time, and they've got built-in fans who obviously feel very comfortable. They go head-to-head with the NFL and college football and basketball and NHL and everything else. So, yeah, it would align them with the rest of the world.
Break.
Yeah,
you were right about the Bundesliga break.
That's what I thought. It's several weeks in December and January.
4 to 6 weeks. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So they're going to be starting in the NFL season.
Oh yeah, you're going to be starting in August.
And you're going up against the Buckeyes.
Well, in a town like I mean I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, they're usually the playoffs are during that time too.
Yeah, you can't. You have. I guess what they're banking on is that. My guess is they're banking that they have enough fans that they don't need the casual fans as much as they used to 30 years ago. That's what they're banking on. So we'll see.
We'll get some clarity.
Yeah.
Love a Dog today. What snack do you find hard to stop eating once you get started?
Barbecue sunflower seeds. I love them on a road trip.
Interesting.
I like them in like lacrosse season. And if I crack a bag of them, they'll sometimes disappear. It makes the time go. Like if it makes.
That's how I feel about anything I buy in the airport. If it's a bag of combos, like you can only buy like
the
bag
whatever
that's
it is.
shareable.
Right. I think I'm gonna
share
eat
with
all
myself,
that.
and it'll be gone halfway through the flight because I'm bored.
So I don't know if this would count as a snack, but the one thing that I would say that I snack on the most regularly, I don't really eat a lot of snacks. Is shrimp cocktail with Elmo's cocktail sauce and a little truff mixed in. Still like.
Yeah, that's definitely not a snack.
Kind of bougie.
Why is it not a snack?
Quite bougie. That's quite bougie.
Oh,
is that stuff 77 cents a pound?
Please.
That shrimp you're getting?
I don't think so.
No.
Don't think it is either.
I think you have to go other places for that.
Why is that bougie? It's getting some protein?
I was fine with it till you threw in the truff. That's when it got bougie.
That's not bougie.
I think up until that point it was fine. Shrimp cocktail, fine.
So let's say a bottle of truff, okay?
Yeah, but that's where you
got that just laying around.
Well, why can't I elevate it? Why can't I? Why can't I elevate my snack?
It no longer becomes a snack at that point.
Oh, it's a snack.
Yeah, that's an aperitif almost.
I would say if it's $14 for a bottle of the black truff, which it is, I probably get 40 uses out of it.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about something that is like a 30-cent enhancement.
What's the price per shrimp on that wild caught shrimp?
I don't like I don't like those ones for some reason. Of late, I've gone with
you go with the farmed.
Yeah, and it's at a $19.99 a pound. Sometimes we get from a great many different markets that are wonderful and delightful.
Great many markets that have them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some chips and salsa. Chips and guac.
I think that's more in the line of what we're thinking.
That's a snack.
Probably a little bit more.
Yeah, but then you're going to complain about my designer salsas.
No, I won't.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, there's no designer salsa anyway.
Oh, there's designer salsa. I got a Chipotle salsa that'll knock your socks off.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a delight, but
it's a delight.
Yeah.
It's going to run you a little bit more than a paste picante.
That's probably true. Yeah.
And I like my guac freshly made.
There you go. There you go.
A little cilantro.
Bobby time. What's
lime
one
juice.
place you visited that you never want to return to?
Indiana.
No,
We'll see you there in February. Now you're corporate Bo. Now you're there all week.
What a joy. I really can't stand Indiana. I really can't. I like the Hoosiers gym. I like St. Elmo's for dinner.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the list. There's absolutely nothing I want to do in Indiana.
We bird. We bird around downtown.
It's fine, but that's more about the tomfoolery and the brotherhood than it is about. I mean, we could bird around downtown Cleveland. We'd have the same amount of fun. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Duluth, Minnesota. You can sell it to Canada tomorrow, and I'm fine.
How did you end up there?
Family, friends. They moved
Somehow
there.
when you're in Duluth.
My mother and father thought it was a great summer vacation, except like in the summer, it doesn't get hotter than like 53 degrees.
No.
It's awful.
And
It's awful.
the mosquitoes in Minnesota are the size of B-52s.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't need to go back to whatever that town I was in where we were in an emergency room and Miss K's appendix was about to burst in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. I don't need to be
Deliverance.
Back there. Yeah.
What's something that's not illegal that feels illegal? I don't know if we want to answer that.
Next question. Yeah, we're corporate Bo.
What's the funniest song you know all the lyrics to?
There's a cover of Gin and Juice that some jam band made that we played on a loop in college that I could still do with the twang right now.
Sipping on gin and juice. Yeah, that one.
Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Yeah, I know that song.
Still have that. I think everybody our age did. I don't know that.
There's-
When you first discovered that song, it just defied all logic and joy.
Oh, it was great. And I thought it was so fun.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Baby got back. So
My
thanks a lot.
answer
That's
is
a good
going
one,
to
yeah.
be a song called 1985 by Bo Burnham.
What a job out of you.
My dad in 1985. It's a great song. Big recommendation. I don't think we can play it on the air, though.
Probably not.
All right, that's today's mailbag.
There you go, kids.
That's it?
You had a lot of them in there, Gibby.
Why don't we go ahead for 3 more minutes?
Now.
Yeah.
Why don't we go 3 more minutes here?
Well, we got to do a score. So much
Let's
more
do
to
it
come.
right now.
So much more to come. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Join Z Gerard tonight, 7 to 8. Kevin Stefanski Show live from MGM Northfield Park. Meet Browns wide receiver Gage Larvinen, who will be signing autographs during the show. It's brought to you by MGM Northfield Park. Must be 21 or older to attend.
Last week, Siciliano made a surprise appearance. Maybe Bo Bishop will make a surprise appearance.
I was going to until that last line about must be 21 or older because Bootsy would have loved to have met Chomps. But I can't. Next week maybe. But I'll DVR it.
Got it. Yeah. Well, next week you will be going. This show will be live from MGM Northfield
I thought you were
Park.
throwing me another curveball about that I was going to. What am I doing now, Corporate Bo? All right, you ready? We got Thursday night.
We do. Thursday night. It's the Nor'easter uniforms, the Pats. They've won 7 in a row. I'm sure Gronk will be a part of this.
Oh, yeah.
Patriots hosting the New York Football Jets, who lucked out in a win over us on Sunday.
I can't believe that. Nobody circles the wagons.
Look, the bottom line is this.
Like the JETS.
They didn't even need the forward pass to get a win a week ago, and now we're just asking them to stay within 2 touchdowns?
Come on.
Please. It's too easy.
They may win outright.
Too easy. They may. Doesn't matter for our purposes.
Mm-mm.
They may.
30.
May
not.
Or May.
I mean,
on
a Thursday.
It's on a
May.
Thursday.
You never know.
It's all in play,
You
kids.
never
It's all
know.
in play. All right. Enjoy. You guys. Will you guys enjoy that?
I
Coach's
can't
show?
wait
That's
for
very
tonight.
exciting.
I'm excited.
Very
I
exciting.
can't believe.
You'll be there before you know it.
Let's go.
We're back tomorrow on a Football Friday. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.